go. All right, we got a new car to mess with today. We got Troy's Cadillac. But before we go out front and dive into that, do me a huge favor, like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends. Hopefully this goes smoothly. All right, guys, so first things first. So in the morning, still kind of chilly. Probably should have gotten up a little bit earlier so it was a little bit colder, but what we're gonna do is just get kind of a baseline on what's in there and see how it cold starts. This calibration that's in there right now, it's still on the Terminator X right now. I haven't switched it yet, but I wanna use each morning as an opportunity to test out cold parameters. That fueling timing was already done by Able Racing, so we're gonna go in there and do all of the adjustments, the tables, the power control, idle parameters, cold start parameters, drivability stuff. For me, that's the stuff that is a little bit, I mean, it's definitely more time consuming. I mean, you can make an argument on which one is more difficult. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're different. But I think for a street car, both are necessary. So that's why I really wanted to make sure that Troy got us the car so that we could spend the proper amount of time to make sure that this thing, once we give it back to him, he doesn't need us at all. Like the red car it constantly needs adjustment from us. I want this thing to have everything it needs to never need me again, whether that's, you know, he's racing on a street surface or a track surface or a crappy track surface or a really awesome one. I want him to have everything that he needs to just start this thing up in the morning, drive it to the track, and, you know, go run a decent number on any surface. So, like I said, first things first, let's see how it starts. Oh, geez, he detailed the inside of this thing, too. I told Troy. He went and got it detailed right before we took it. And I'm like, you're going to get towed behind our old-ass truck on our dirt road. Probably could have saved the money, or saved the time and money on that. Let's hop in here and see how it starts. All pressure, so that's good. All right, I'll give that a sec. All right. Now we should be able to get all this going much better. Let's go ahead and make a change right now.
2 hours later.
Surprise! We're on the side of the road, stranded. This happens sometimes. Things don't go to plan. And it's unfortunate. I really wanted to dive into all of the, you know, details of what we do to street cars versus race cars when it comes to setting up their calibrations. And this car was going to be a really good example of that. He wanted this thing, the goal of the customer was to make this a car that you can just start up in the morning, drive to a track or wherever, do some racing, make some good power, and drive back home with no problems whatsoever, right? And alternative fuel. So like if the place that he was driving to didn't have any 85, he could put it on pump gas and it would automatically make everything cater to the fuel that he was on. So if it was pump gas, it'd do less boost, less, you know, aggressive calibration on timing, and adjust fuel appropriately. So that was the goal. Unfortunately, sometimes it ends this way. So the way that this happened, I didn't video all of this stuff because I thought I was just doing an initial shakedown, and so I would do video later. I guess I should have done everything. So I did a little bit of cold start stuff this morning. I wanted to see how it started just on the calibration that somebody else had done. We made some adjustments, and you know, then I wanted to take it on a decent trip to see if the cooling system was up to par. And to go get fuel, so at the nearest gas station, we didn't even make it there before it started getting above 220. So we let it cool down there, and then I was going to bring it back home, deal with the cooling system, and then, you know, try to go out and do more daily driving adjustments. So fueling, throttle response, things like that, idle tables, make sure all the scenarios that you would normally get into when just driving on the road, highway, stop and go traffic, things like that. I want to make sure that we touch all of those, you know, parts of the calibration. And unfortunately, so I let it cool down at the gas station, and I was going to bring it back home. And on the way back, trans started feeling a little weird. Just cruising. We're not making pulls or anything. I needed to be able to keep it cool enough, long enough to get home. So we were literally just cruising around. And every time I gave it gas, RPM would go up. I thought it was like dropping gears by itself or something. And this is a manually shifted transmission. All right, I'm not shifting at all. It drops a gear, drops another gear, shifts back down on its own. It's like second or maybe even first. It's doing that all on its own. I give it throttle and it like slips or drops gear or something. Wasn't doing that on the way over here. This is in park right now. And yeah, sure enough, it got to the point where I just wasn't even moving forward anymore. So yeah, it happens. So unfortunately, I think the customer is going to come pick it up. There's obviously some mechanical issues that got to get sorted out before we can do what we were going to do today. So hopefully they fix that quick and they get it back to us and we can finish up this video. But yeah, sorry, this is a really short one. I was really hoping this was going to be a fun one to do, but I guess I'll just leave you with that. Like, share, subscribe, do all that normal stuff. I honestly wouldn't be mad if you didn't share this one with your friends, because it's a really short one and anticlimactic. So anyway, we'll see you on the next one.